students after the game. Take a listen to this. And remember, this was a career.
Was there any discussions on the sideline by you or anybody that you know of to possibly get you some more help as Metcalf kept having that big game?
Hell no, I don't need no help. What kind of question is that? Next one.
You don't need any help. Oh, my God, he went for 177 yards.
He needed some help. He needed some help.
Come on, Slade. Come on, man.
All right, Trae Young bombing shots from about 10 miles away. Here's a story about your old buddy Kevin Wilde, just playing basketball at Equinox. 2 kids there. There's an old guy there. Said, hey, you want to run? I said, ooh, look at this. I'm on the other side of the story. Now I'm the old guy. We're going to cook these 2 young teenagers. Nope, not the way it turned out. You know why? Because the kids played a game I didn't even know was basketball. They kept going further and further away from the hoop to the point where we were infringing on the guy taking shots on the other hoop. And I was like, this game has passed me by. So the question is this, or no, the prediction is this. I think Trae Young is going to start doing things this year that don't even look like basketball. That even if you're like a millennial, you're like, I'm with it. I'm you know, I'm like a young guy. I think it'll be like, in my day, people used to put their toes right near the three-point line. And you're going to join the group of old people that want to get the cousin of the mid-range. Like, you take a one shot, that's a far-away shot. Now these kids are shooting from half court. It happened to me. It's going to happen to you, too.
You're just an old guy, Wild. All right, speaking of old guys, LeBron James. Speaking of old guys, Marc Gasol. They're now teammates. LeBron James knows he's going to finish his career with the most points ever, 3rd most assists ever, 6 or 7 championships, a handful of MVPs. But one thing he's not going to have, Defensive Player of the Year. And that's because in 2013, he came in second. He came in second to a man who was not even one of the top 2 all-defensive team centers, yet somehow won the Defensive Player of the Year, Marc Gasol. LeBron James on a podcast tonight, Road Tripping Pod with Richard Jefferson, Allie Clifton, is going to address this, saying that Marc Gasol has LeBron's trophy at his house. Ongoing development over whether or not LeBron's going to actually reclaim that trophy as it rightfully should be his, so his mantle is full. I will continue to keep America updated.
Good. Thank you, Nick. Hey, you guys, you know how Bill Belichick speaks volumes without using words, how he says things without saying things? Hey, how's your offense playing? We're going to focus on Week 12. That means your offense isn't playing great. You can just kind of read. You just know. If you know Bill, you know what he's trying to say. So the other day, he was asked whether Matt Patricia, who the Lions just let go, would be rejoining the Patriots, to which Bill Belichick answered the question. I couldn't believe it. He said, I'd say right now we're really focused on correcting the mistakes from the Arizona game and then moving on to the Chargers. Guys, Matt Patricia's coming back. I mean, there are other signs, like he brought Josh McDaniels back, and Matt Patricia knows that defense spent 6 seasons here. But this quote, did you read it? He literally just told you what's happening. It's why I love Bill Belichick. He's just a great broadcaster. Says things without saying things. I love it.
Some people are meant to be defensive coordinators.
Exactly. Let us head out to L.A. now, where the Rams are sitting at 7-4 and in the playoff hunt. But could Jared Goff be holding him back? The quarterback turned the ball over 3 times Sunday. It is becoming a troubling trend. His 14 turnovers, tied for 2nd most in the league. Sean McVay said, our quarterback has to take better care of the football. Brian Westbrook, start with you. Actually, Nick, let me start with you. Is Jared Goff's turnover problem the only thing that's standing in the way of a Rams Super Bowl run right now?
No. That's not his turnover problem is not the only thing standing in the way of the Rams Super Bowl run. His lack of arm strength, his bad decision making, his lack of accuracy is also standing in the way of Rams Super Bowl run. All those things. His contract doesn't help either. The whole Jared Goff package. They got an excellent coach. They have the best defensive player in football. They might have the best corner in football. They have somehow, now they lost their left tackle, Whitworth, and I think you're starting to see some of the effects of that. A guy who had been there as long as Jared Goff, or almost as long as Jared Goff had been there. But listen, the Rams and the Eagles are in a very similar position. After 3 years and a Super Bowl appearance, they felt obligated to pay their quarterbacks. And they paid them early, and they paid them top of the market. And those guys hadn't earned it yet, hadn't proven they were can't miss the way Mahomes and Deshaun Watson had when they got their contracts after the same amount of time in the league. And now they've got to try to coach around them. And I also think one of the reasons Sean McVay was more pointed with his commentary this week, Brian, was because that's 4 in a row that he's lost to Kyle Shanahan. And once upon a time, Sean McVay was the hot, young, cutting-edge head coach. And Kyle Shanahan has kind of been elbowing him off that corner the last couple of years, and now he's beaten him 4 straight times, this time with Nick Mullins at quarterback. And I think Sean McVay's a little frustrated because the Rams are in win-now mode. They did trade those picks for Jalen Ramsey. They have paid so many people, and I think they have a defined ceiling because of the limitations they have at quarterback.
You know, Nick, I think you're absolutely right. And there are times in the NFL where the stats speak volumes. So I'm going to give you a couple stats. The Rams defense, second in yards per game. So they're really good. They're fourth in points per game. So they're really good there as well. When you look at their offense, they're 9th in rushing. They're averaging 126 yards per game. So that's really good. But then when you look over the last 4 games, Jared Goff, 6 interceptions, 4 fumbles, and 4 lost fumbles, and only 4 touchdowns. If you went back and asked Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid, as well as Steve Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, they'll say, absolutely, we love the no-look passes. We love the deep shots to Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. But the thing we love most importantly, the most, is Patrick Mahomes' ability to take care of the football. His ability to not throw the ball to the other team, not fumble the ball to the other team, because those are game killers. That loses field position. That puts your defense in a bad situation. That's what Jared Goff is doing to this football team. I would just rather punt, of course, than have a turnover. But Jared Goff continues to give the ball to the other team. With a great defense and a good running game, there's no excuse other than the quarterback that the team is in the position that they're in at this point.
Yeah, B, man, they have the perfect blueprint to make another run at it. So the question, is Jared Goff standing in the way of a Rams Super Bowl run? I would have to say yes. When you look at what they did in 2018, a lot of people think, oh, McVay, Jared Goff was playing really good. How did they get to the Super Bowl? They ran the ball really well. Todd Gurley. That was the difference in that team. Defensively, they put pressure on the quarterback. They didn't play great in the back end, but they put pressure on the quarterback and they turned the ball over. So when you look at this year, you have one of the best defenses in the National Football League. You're running the ball better than you have in the last 15 years. So now you have the perfect blueprint and your quarterbacks turn the ball over. The answer is 100% is Jared Goff. He is in a situation now where you do need to throw the ball to win some games. Just don't mess it up. Protect the ball, because you can run the ball. You can play really good defense. You have great coaching. Just don't mess it up. We don't need you to be the star. And, Nick, that contract, a lot of times when you come in and you are the highest paid person in the organization, you're the quarterback, you know, you're the face of the franchise, a lot of times you feel like you're the man. The reality is Jared Goff is not the man. So I don't know if it's a thing that where he feels he needs to go win those games, and really he needs to focus on just managing the games and not messing them up.
Okay, Nick, I'm going to go into the real world. Patriots just beat the Cardinals. Cam Newton had 80-something yards through 2 turnovers, but we didn't let Kyler run around, and DeAndre Hopkins didn't really go off. Okay, well, now the Rams play the Cardinals. There's the blueprint. Cardinals scored 17 points. Don't you think the Rams can do the exact same thing the Patriots can do? Even throw 2 turnovers, but manufacture 20 points as long as Kyler doesn't start running around and Jalen erases DeAndre Hopkins. All of a sudden, the Cardinals are one of the best offenses in the entire league, and Bill Belichick and Steve Belichick with his mullet took them out. I feel like the Rams can do the exact same thing, whether or not Goff is amazing or if he throws a few picks.
I think that's... Yeah, I mean, I think that's the game plan. I think as good as the Patriots defense was in that game, Kyler also played one of his sloppier games. I think Kyler's not going to stay at that level week after week. But yeah, that is the Rams' blueprint, which is why it's so unfortunate for them that Goff next year has the highest cap hit of anyone in football because they're trying to coach around him. And I really do wonder if a team like the Buffalo Bills, because the Bills are going to make the playoffs, they might win the division this year for the first time in, this century, right? Josh Allen, top 10 pick. He's eligible for an extension after this season. He might make a Pro Bowl this year. There's going to be a lot of external and internal pressure. Well, you got to pay the guy. He's eligible now. You got him his contract. Deshaun got his last year. Mahomes got his. And I wonder if teams like in Cleveland with Baker, in Buffalo with Josh Allen, even if when they make the playoffs this year, if internally they're going to say, you know what, we're not going to be in the situation the